Well, I say that this is a moment when I decide to come back on and do a little more in showing you how to do these donkeys. Tell you something's bothering my eyes right now, and I say it's just a little strange thing going through the air or something. And sometimes I tell y'all, sometimes the worst of things kind of get on my fingers, and then I reach up to rub my eye because it itches a little, and then start burning my eye. So probably from those jalapenos today that I had in my calzone at Pacini's. We'll get started talking on carving on the little donkeys, and I'll tell you a little more story about that later. But here you've seen how we've done this much in the last video, but I decided it comes a time where maybe we can start to kind of take care of the face a little more, get around the little nose, and kind of put a little carving step into the boy, and then kind of make it so we got a little eyeball work into it, and then finally just work a little ways up to the place where it comes and goes, and then sort of like put the little place down where we kind of make the little inch mark. I say this is where we come along, taking little things up to the point where we don't know what they're going to be next, what they're going to do next, what's going to become of them next. But as for the little work we got, I say we just gotta kind of do a little work right into it, get a little more done in this boy. I say, and here we just kind of got a little place where we separated the body from the head a little bit, and tell you all that about my experience at Pacini's today. They were dressed up in Halloween costumes. Pretty sure they would be at McLeod's too, but decided out of the two options I had of where to go, thought Pacini's would suit me a little better this afternoon. Probably thought that McLeod's might be a little too much. Probably seen their costumes for years and years. So I got to see some outfits today that I really liked. And so this girl was dressed up as a pirate today, the one who waited on me. A friend I've made there in past visits today was dressed up as a cow. There was a certain guy there, he didn't have a costume or a way to dress up, but she thought he ought to be a cow too, so she got out of her truck a little toboggan that kind of like, I'd say, you know, had a little cow design on it. Had the design on it of a little cow's head, so, or the spots on its fur. She was wearing one that was all spotted, and so then she thought he ought to be one too. She got that out for him. Nice of her. Nice of him to wear it. So that made it a cool and interesting little visit there, I say. And I learned a little thing tonight about how it is for them, how it gets real busy for them on Halloween night. That's okay. Probably why I'm kind of happy I went during the day. But you see what we done here? We just kind of got the ears done out. And we'll just say that we're going to come out and go between the ears on the back side of the head too. Try to get them right in. And since they were talking about cows today, I told them about the thing I have on my YouTube where how that before I started this series, I had already done that series where I carved those little cows out of those interesting little shaped scraps and wanted to share with them about it. But that young lady, I tell you, she tells me that the one who was dressed as a pirate today, the one who served me, she told me that she grew up kind of up in the hills and didn't know technology all that well. And I'd say that for different regions, things can be a little different in ways, and different towns and counties kind of have it all different little ways they do. I say, finally here, we just got a couple of good ears made out for this little donkey character. And so, as for how we got a little good character right into him, it's going to be the little things that oh make like good things to know, good things to do. I say probably put a nostril in each side of the nose. That would be a little strange to do, but we're gonna come around to that one of these days, kinda sooner or later. Do a little stranger lurk in that, and kinda like have a little time we work in life and just see how work shall come along. I say, and told them about my series, like I said. That was why I wanted to share that. Here we came, and now we got little heads in, and so I say probably try to generalize the steps a little bit. Try to take them on this next one too, and oh, I tell you, work this thing out. I say the strange little voices in cartoons. I say kind of like I say my voice gets a little strange sometimes when I get into different vocal moods and different mood swings. Try to kind of work our way up like this, up to about the middle of the head. When we get down to it, it is going to chip a little bit, so we'll have to kind of take care of that somewhat, and due to the kind of work we need to get into doing that, I say this is just one of these things where animals come to life. They're really making a live show out of us, making it so we kind of know what we're doing and feeling and seeing, and kind of where we just, I say, come down to right about a certain place on the forehead where the ears need to meet, to go to the center and make the little line to divide the two ears in the front. Make it so we kind of got one little good little pet of a animal to work with, and finally just kind of put little ways of work aside, and wow, I say woe is to this, woe is to this. I say just working on what we have and what we do. I say it's just kind of like just what one little word shall make of us and say of us to this point where we finally put the work along and make the little character come its own freaking way, and see how this is just like how we make it along. And so this was just one little thing after another where we kind of get a little ways of work to do into our jobs, into our wages, into our cares. I tell y'all that this is just one of those things where we're going to measure it up here, see how the ears come off. Believe that this set of ears came out a little bit higher than the others, so we kind of got to trim them down just a little bit more, make them so they're going to be a little slimmer, come up to the next side, and I say just kind of put a little line down to the center of the ears, and I say make it so it's just going to be type of work it'll come down to. Oh, I say this is just what we see now and what we have and what we do. Oh, and finally just getting our ways up into what we're doing. I say kind of got to where we kind of got the back of the head of the donkey done in, and kind of take it so we can kind of do the little work into its back of its head. I say kind of make it so we can just do a little more to this, you know. It's just kind of like the type of work we see when we get away from all the troubles and emotions of life. It might not take long to carve these donkeys, because I say that this is such a soft, durable wood. This Guanacaste is. Never knew how soft it was until I got a hold of some, and finally got to where I had a chance to carve a little of it. And so sometimes, just sometimes, you know, you kind of get to a point in life where you can kind of taste wood a little bit. You'd find it strange that I would taste wood to find out what it is, but sometimes, just sometimes, I can actually do that. You know, I just have a special way of being able to tell that. You know, and like one thing we learned in school was how to find out what certain type of breed of rock is. We learned that we can smell rocks, we can taste rocks, and everything else, look at them and be able to tell what kind of mineral they are. And I just often see how it can be quite the same with wood. You know, wood is just a good substance for us to know about and learn from. All the time we look at wood and see what it comes down to making. I say just a short little bit of work, I say, and well, hopefully this won't turn out to look too much like a rabbit rather than a donkey, because you know what we're trying to make it to be. But we'll just have to kind of come down and kind of make it to where maybe it'll show up a little bit better in the eyes once we get a little more done. Maybe that'll make it better, or show up in the nose after we get the rotary tool work done. But I'd say that this may just as well be included in the nativities when we get them done. And I say kind of work the knife along, kind of get rid of some of these extra pencil marks we have around here, because we don't need them, we don't want them, and they're kind of going to get right in our very way, so we have to work away just to put it at what we have. And then I say this donkey, it probably has a good rump, just a bottom and no tail. It's a funny little thing for little critter. Oh, and I say that there's a lot of good little things come about in life. We'll see nice little things show up for us. I don't know exactly how things will go between now and when it's Christmas time, but we know that the season is great, the season is good, and so it'll just be a little deal of a shop for us. Somebody asked me today if I go out and shop for Black Friday deals. I said no, I just make all my presents homemade. That's what I do. So as for this, we finally got a good donkey to come out, and finally might even just stop the video here. Think we've taken a little while here. Don't know whether what we'll do as far as carving out the other one goes. I might do it in between videos, might do it on the next video. Haven't decided yet, but we'll get around to taking care of that, and surely get around to some sanding and some other things, as I have more little things to talk about as I go. Take care, and if you get a moment, and if it so interests you, would appreciate if you'd subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.